Your Honours, special guests here in the regimental lobby, and all of you across Canada. Welcome to the Mounted Police Heritage Centre at the gateway to Depot, home of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. This is Rough Rider country, proudly located here in the heart of Treaty 4 territory.
This is a very exciting day for the RCMP Heritage Centre. We're extremely fortunate to have a group such as the Friends of the Mounted Police Heritage Centre who dedicate their time and their efforts into allowing us to share our story with the world.
The RCMP Heritage Centre is in fact not owned by the RCMP. It is a standalone institution, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to sharing and commemorating the story of the RCMP with the world. The Friends of the RCMP Heritage Centre sought ways to celebrate the service of individual men and women, members and employees, while at the same time continuing our financial support of this great building.
And the first bricks placed here were by His Worship, Mayor Fougere, the City of Regina, at the center of the walkway. Since that day, and almost every week leading up to now, there have been more and more bricks placed along that walkway as part of the opening ceremony.
All those who support our Pillars of the Force initiative are afforded the opportunity to share their story of service, their personal legacy of what being part of the RCMP represents to them and their families. We acknowledge how together all these individual stories of service contributes to the creation of the image, reputation, and profile of the RCMP around the world.
I'm very proud to be a part of this project and proud to be able to share my story with Canadians. And I'm proud of the opportunity that other members, public servants, stenos, etc. will have to share their story with the world as well.
Every one of us think back to the excitement that you personally experienced when you received that letter from the RCMP with an offer of employment. As members, that first night in your dorm with 31 strangers, wondering what the heck you got yourself in for. The very first time that you tried on your red serge, took a photo and sent it home. Graduation day and being presented with a badge by the commanding officer. Of course, the drill corporal watching everything you did so closely. Then the day after graduation, we went our different ways to one of the more than 700 detachments across Canada and started our journey as members of the greatest police force in the world. We recognize that everyone, all of you, made both personal and family sacrifices to protect and serve Canadians, and everybody has a story worth sharing. After all, you are everyday men and women who have done some extraordinary things over the course of your careers. And through our Pillars of the Force initiative, we want to provide you the opportunity to be recognized, celebrated, and remembered.
October 5th, 1976, a young man from La Ronge, Saskatchewan passed through this north gate out here, entered Depot, and became a nervous young man in a brand new experience. Troop 10, regimental number 33629. All 32 members of that troop graduated and were posted across the country. Constable Russ Morasti was posted just down the highway to Indian Head. Shortly after graduating, he went home for a little break. And when he got there, he found there was a new young lady in town. He made it a point of getting to meet her. She was newly graduated and a nurse working in his hometown. Obviously something worked out, as they have been lifelong partners ever since. They have traveled together from Gander, Newfoundland, to Prince George, British Columbia, 7 divisions in all. He found himself doing duty in every territory and every province in the country. He served on the front lines, experiencing both the emotional highs of solving a crime and the lows of dealing with the worst that humanity has to offer. As a dog master for 10 years, he and his partner, police service dog Brandy, would have experienced more than their share. He has earned the honor of serving as the commanding officer here at F Division, where he retired from. He returned to his home community. 2019, he was appointed the Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan. He is a man who never forgot his roots, nor his heritage. He is a man of integrity. He is a relationship builder. He is a respected and outstanding leader, a true example of an officer and a gentleman, a pillar of the force. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, His Honour the Honourable Russ Marasty.
Assistant Commissioner Breton, Chief Superintendent Bangaloy, of course the veterans all, family members, distinguished guests, supporters, ladies and gentlemen. My own language, literally translated, means friends and relatives. And I use that word intentionally because we often speak about the RCMP as a family. And certainly I've found that in my 36 years. Good morning, bonjour, tansi. Don and I are truly honored to be with you here today for this special celebration. And here in the beautiful Heritage Centre in Regina, here in Treaty 4 territory and homeland of the Métis. I want to begin by thanking the Friends of the Mounted Police Heritage Centre and the staff and board here at the Centre for creating the inspiring pillars of the force which we are opening today. This initiative is truly unique, meaningful, and an enduring way to pay tribute to RCMP members, employees, families, and supporters who contribute so much to our nation. I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has contributed to this event. What a fitting way to launch this exciting initiative. Working in any police service can be very challenging, but being in the RCMP, I believe, brings additional challenges. This is mainly due to the scope and diversity of responsibilities and the locations that RCMP members and employees have to serve across this great country of ours, and some even working internationally. It really is impressive when you think about the scope of the responsibilities that the RCMP has had and continues to have. I am very confident in saying that the RCMP and service within the RCMP is a life-changing experience. It certainly was for me and my family. It is challenging, but also very fulfilling work. Members, employees, and their families get to live in many areas of our beautiful country, often very far from their original homes, and of course their families and people that they grew up with. But on the other hand, they get to know the local people, often on a very personal level. They learn about the history of the communities, the people, their culture, their way of life, and through these experiences become better police officers, employees, and I would suggest human beings. It really is an experience or experiences that can only create better people. While I was with the RCMP, our family lived in 7 provinces, performed duties in every province and territory. I certainly experienced a great diversity of work, and as a family we had many wonderful experiences as we got to know our nation and the richness of Canadian cultures. Having said that, I also have to say that there were some difficult times for our family, and I'm sure many can relate to this statement. We all talk about the great experiences that we had, often reflected through the war stories when members and veterans and other employees get together. But I know that the transfers and adjusting to new communities and friends was at times very difficult. Besides supporting me and our 2 children, Donna did not have a normal career and had to find new jobs and go through different challenges, obstacles, trying to find work as a licensed practical nurse wherever we moved. The kids left friends, many friends, and had to establish new friendships in new communities. Today we talk about all of these challenges, we talk about these experiences, and they would say that they wouldn't change anything given the experiences that they've gained and the people that they've turned into. Just wonderful, wonderful people. I know Donna was very honored today to be invited to place the second man brick in the Princess Royal Walk today. A funny term in today's context when we talk about second man, but truly, not in my own experience, but others, stories that I've heard where the spouses of members were literally that second man, providing that support, answering phone calls, maybe even answering the radio within a detachment that they also resided in. So I think an appropriate term, really. And I know there's been a book written about that subject as well. The families of members and employees play a critical role. They could not succeed without their ongoing support, and I am testament to that. I wouldn't be here today without Donna's ongoing support. And we're grateful that our children were so adaptable as we moved around the country. It will be great to have the cadets take part in the outdoor ceremony today. Seeing them reminds me of my time in here many years ago, not knowing what I was getting into. I wish them all the very best as they begin their journey with the force. Everyone who serves has their own reasons for choosing this as a career, but I think that all members and employees have a similar desire to contribute to the important work overall of the RCMP and to make a difference in Canadian communities by making them safer, and to serve truly with honesty, integrity, compassion, respect, accountability, and professionalism. No one chooses his work for the accolades. Someone once said, "Deeds, not stones, are the true monuments of the great." The pillars of the Force, the Princess Royal Walk, and indeed the Heritage Centre provide tangible ways for Canadians to express their gratitude to members of the RCMP. My thanks once again for creating this lasting tribute to those so deserving of thanks. In closing, as is customary, it is my pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. In your words, it comes from one who has lived the challenges, experienced the stresses of the job, and know the effects on families. Your words have strength and meaning. You know of the shared desire amongst members to serve with integrity and to help make communities safe. Those words do not get stated enough. So thank you for reminding all of us of what we are here to do. And thank you for your service and for sharing your time and words of wisdom with us today. Now, Your Honor, speaking of stories, I'm going to ask you to accompany Dan up to our virtual wall. That is the console that's been unraveled first, where you'll be able to find a name or regimental number and press a button and bring up a story, an image of an individual that you have just called upon. So the big thing for all of you watching, go to our website page, fill out that form, stake your claim, and submit your story and get it on the virtual pillar wall here at the RCMP Heritage Centre. 2007, June the 3rd to be specific, the Princess Royal officially opened the Princess Royal Walk. And her sign has graced that walkway out there ever since. Today, His Honor will place a new sign, unveil a new sign. But first, we have a message to share from Buckingham Palace.
My principal duty and my honor today is to convey to you a message we received from the Princess Royal. Under the letterhead of Buckingham Palace, I remember very well my visit to Regina in 2007 when I had the opportunity to launch the Princess Royal Walk at the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Heritage Centre. I am aware of how much hard work has been done by those working on the projects to bring the walk and the Pillars of the Force initiatives to fruition. As you formally open the valuable legacy sites, I wish to acknowledge everyone who has contributed. Thank you for the lasting tribute to the current and retired members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and their families, to employees and supporters. Please accept my best wishes on this very special occasion. I look forward to the future visits to Saskatchewan and to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Heritage Centre. The letter is simply signed, Anne. Thank you.
As the board chair of the RCMP Heritage Centre, I'm thrilled with the opening today of the Pillars of the Force exhibit. The Friends of the RCMP Museum have done an exceptional job of bringing the world together to celebrate the history of the RCMP, and through this new exhibit, it tells amazing stories about incredible people who have done things not only for their families, for their communities, but literally for the country. So I salute the efforts of the Friends of the Museum, but also, as always, salute the Force. Thanks for all you do and for all you continue to do.
Very impressed with the work that the Heritage Centre has done to create the Pillars of the Force. It's a fantastic tribute to the very many members of the RCMP across the country for the so many years that the Force has been such a foundational part of Canada. And congratulations to the team that put it together. It's fantastic.
What a great day to be here at the Gateway to Depot, celebrating the Pillars of the Force. During the time that I spoke with members about their service, I was struck by one word: courage. The courage it took for them to go through training successfully and go into the field, but then the courage to meet the day-to-day challenges that every single officer in the RCMP faces.
Working on this book project have really taught me that each force member, you think about the force as an entire entity, and it's made up of unique individuals, and of course we know that, but to hear their unique stories and the things that they have gone through, to be the first people on the scene, or to have found a lost child, or to have been involved in some of the major historical events in our country, is pretty incredible.